Okay, so we looked at Bitcoin just there now, talked about the difficulties it's having at breaking through various areas that have got a lot of liquidity stacked up over time. We broke down the technical analysis using chart patterns, and we picked some targets in risk management, tried to understand the bigger picture and apply that to another cryptocurrency, Solana, which we really broke down in a lot of detail, looking at exactly how I would be trading this if it was going either to the North Pole or the South Pole. I'm ambivalent at the minute between being bullish and bearish because prices have arrived to a longer term horizontal support and resistance zone, which to me is a price pivot. I'm inclined to lean towards $77 on Solana with a move above that to test 80 and then after that towards $90 and to continue actually to look towards a potential trend change, partly though being contingent on whether or not Bitcoin is able to break past that 67,676 dollar and 67 cents price point, because it is stressed out by that. It has been quite a few times, right? A lot of liquidity in that area, not breaking above it. Other things that we looked at, PayPal, you know, is the offer good enough? Enrique, the CEO, has his own opinion. Do you share it? I, as a PayPal holder, do. I think that we could be looking towards $90 for that. Did some technical analysis on that one to explain what that fits into the context of price history on this one. And actually, you can see really it's pretty impressive overall, the way that history all fits together with the current story. An offer from Stripe for $67 is it's the meme number of the year, but there's actual hard data backing all this up. So who's making that happen? I don't know. But $67 I think will be the next offer we get from Stripe, and it'll push prices towards there for PayPal. So it's looking pretty good. But then if this starts to break down and people then are left sitting on their hands, investors not really knowing what's happening, there is a good chance actually of a retrace down to 44. So we worked out some risk reward on that. We worked out some areas where you would maybe be thinking about when would give you the incentive to enter and when you would give you the incentive to exit, trying to educate people on technical analysis and so on. We did actually also take a look at how NVIDIA is helping Oracle by giving money over to OpenAI to pay for its capex and so on. And we put a story together there which I think is super interesting, worth taking a look at if you're interested in the AI sphere generally speaking. There was a couple of things with regards to the NVIDIA chart that I thought were interesting right now for us as this pushes very high. And just before signing off on this show, I think, hey, let's take a quick look at this. This is a 4-hour time frame. You can see that NVIDIA has pushed up towards $220 again. It's had some struggles to stay above this price in the longer term, but as you look back, you know, this is thereabouts. The only time it's been higher was when it had that Adam and Eve pattern in the past. So Adam was here and here was Eve, and then that put pivot. Now we also saw that there was a high before there, and that means that we are at a big inflection point, a pivot point in the market again. What does the market feel about NVIDIA here? Obviously this is an area where people will be taking profit on longs. I'm not right now saying buy into this, buy into the momentum, but we have spent a lot of time talking about momentum on the channel. I'm interested to know how you would trade this one if you were going to trade it momentum wise from this area, where you would be looking to as well, and what sort of target you might have on this one. I can tell you what my target might be. Let me just work that out for you real quick. One of my favorite methods of working out what my target on this type of trade would be is using this particular Fibonacci retracement tool, and there's two big numbers that really stand out on this one. You have to make the candle so small just to fit that onto the screen. It's pretty crazy. Check it out. So if prices move up towards my next target, it'd be $233. That's a really nice number. In fact, as well, it happens to be right in here where there was the previous high. That I think really does makes sense. We can see that the highs on this stock, the NVIDIA stock here and here back in June and May, would be the next target, but that's because I'm using a Fibonacci of the 1618 based off of having identified a particular type of movement down below. On this particular chart, there's a nice head and shoulders here, for example, and then when we push past certain areas, you could say other things went the way that I like to see them go, and that could be next. But breaking down from here, I think, you know, you are looking towards massive short opportunity if it doesn't work out. But this is, I think, you know, this would be one that is an interesting target, because the next one, that is the reason I did all of this, was because it's like, if this happens and then breaks past these highs, what's the next blue sky thinking target? And that's going to have to be $333.33. $333.33. Yes, exactly that. Why? Well, let's just zoom into what that number means real quick. Way over there, that is the 4.414 Fibonacci retracement zone, right? It's a fib extension, and there's kind of good reasons for thinking about that fib extension. Just to finish off the show here today by reminding folks that my target on SPX was $7,800. We've made it up as high as $7,793. Oh gosh. I take it all back. I was wrong. It wasn't $7,800 that we would see prices going to. It was $7,793 as ES1. At least I do a lot of my trading over there. Oh, thank goodness. If you traded this the way that I would have traded this, then you're looking at my target actually having been hit. Thank the Lord. Well, there was a good reason for that, because in the past that was a 414 Fibonacci retracement. I just thought I would link that back to the NVIDIA chat that we're having a second ago.